Semen retention can make you limitless, truly, if you avoid this mistake. But before I get into that, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to get more content like this. So let me break down what I mean by limitless. When I'm talking about limitless, I mean being able to attract limitless wealth, limitless abundance, limitless experiences to affirm who you are, to get the things that you want, down to random people giving you opportunity to do things that you've never wanted to do before, by manifesting the exact place you want to live, the exact job you want, the exact woman that you want to be with. It makes you limitless, truly. All of the things that you want to experience, they just start happening to you without your physical input. Now, obviously, there's work to be done, but what I mean by that is that sometimes you don't even know how it's about to happen, right? You might just start thinking about something and that thing just appears in your life without you having to do much work, right, towards it. Just because you're emanating this energy, you become abundant, you become connected with who you really are. So without any work, without any sort of physical striving, the things that you want just start to appear. But the way that you do that, right, is by not focusing on manifesting the physical thing, right? It's you have to start to seek, right, the true benefits of retention. The true benefits on retention are the energy that you have, right? Which means that you're going to be doing things like you're going to start sleeping right, you're going to start eating right. It's your ability to create your life. So you're going to focus more on creation rather than consumption, whether that is through writing, reading. You're going to start focusing on those things. You're going to start looking at the things that you want and starting to act in ways that are going to bring that to you. And you can start with small little steps. How you manage your finances. Maybe if you're drinking or you're smoking all the time, you just start to stop doing these things that are going to be damaging your body. You're seeking first to become a person that is worthy of the things that you want. You're meditating, you're training, you're going for walks, you're making sure that you're reading, you're doing all of these things, you're purifying, right, your vessel. Then all of a sudden, as a byproduct, right, of you purifying your vessel, doing the right things, aligning yourself with what it means to be a true human being and be the best version of yourself, you don't have to seek the things to happen to you, right? There are some things that you will physically go out and do, of course, right? It could be that you see this beautiful woman and then you end up talking to her. But it could also be that you were just walking, doing your purpose, right? And the right person comes up to you and then she speaks to you. It could be that you are doing business, right? And you may not know where the money's going to come from, but you just know that you're going to be continually doing a certain thing, whether that's a YouTube channel, whether that's doing different events, whether that's giving out free products, right, of your business. And then you can give it to the right person. And then that person just happens to be someone that's quite affluent in your industry. And then they connect you to somebody else, right, that helps your business to grow. These are the sort of things that start to happen when you are on the retention journey. The possibilities of what happens just become limitless because you are no longer in this depleted state. You're no longer fighting through time, right? You are now starting to create things that draw people, things, and situations to you by the virtue of you doing the things that is called of you, just so that you don't relapse. Because when you're taking this journey properly and you're saying this is a lifestyle, it's not, I'm not trying to do 30 days or whatever. It's just a lifestyle hack, right? Of reconnecting to what it means to be a good human being, right? That is operating in a way that aligns with what it means to be human. When these urges and all of these things start to come up as you get to the higher streaks, you're going to have to do more to channel that energy. So at first, it's going to be fine just to work out and sleep right. That's going to be all you need to do in like your first, let's say, week or two to deal with that energy. But eventually, that becomes your new floor. And this is why it makes you limitless, right? Because those habits, right, after your first 21 days, you're working out all the time, you're stretching, you've got a better sleep routine. That then just becomes the standard, right, to hold that energy. The energy is still going to grow though, because energy cannot be created or destroyed. So you're going to be storing even more energy, and then it's going to call for you to meditate, for example, right? That might be stage 2 for you. You're going to meditate. You might start intermittent fasting. There may be a lot of things that you start doing because these desires, right, need to be channeled into something, right? And so as these desires and these urges are coming and they're getting stronger and they're getting stronger, it never gets easier, right? You become stronger. You start to do more. You may start to work out harder. You may start to write. You may start to play music, right? Because you just need somewhere to put this energy so that you don't end up relapsing. And then all of a sudden, right, you're stacking all of these good habits, right? Your day starts to become more full. You start to pray, right? Because you start hearing the voice of God, for example. And then all of a sudden, you're then getting messages of do this with your day. You're getting messages to do that, to go here, to go there, to speak to this person, to create this product, to do this thing, right? And then all of a sudden, you're starting to attract all of these situations from, sometimes it's known sources that are going to attract your wealth, but sometimes it's unknown, right? That person, right? That random beautiful experience when someone just gives you a gift, right? And you needed it, for example. But sometimes you don't even need it. You're just in this state of abundance and people are just giving things to you. You're getting shout outs from people. People are waving to you on the street. You know, children are just, you know, looking at you and you're just so bright and radiant because of how you're dealing with life, right? That all of these things are just coming to you, right? And then this energy makes you more aware as well. Like your 5 senses become supercharged, right? And then your 6 senses start to come alignment with it, whether it's your clairvoyance, whether it's the gifts of the spirit. These sort of things, they just start to happen. They start to come from the depth of your soul, right? And come to the surface, meaning that you start to attract even more things, that you're starting to do things and sense things that other people cannot sense. They haven't got the awareness to be able to do the things that you do. All of a sudden, your life will change, right? But the thing to make sure that you are avoiding, right, is focusing on the physical benefits, focusing on the women, focusing on the money and making these things the goal. The goal is to become the best version of yourself. The byproduct of becoming the best version of yourself is the money. The byproduct of becoming the best version of yourself is women being attracted to you. Those are byproducts. But if we focus on the byproduct, rather than focusing on the true goal, which is to refine our chi, to do things that help us to channel this energy effectively, right? You're never going to become limitless, because then when the woman turns up, if that's the focus, women or money, when you get to a certain stage of attraction to women, like you attract women at the level that you want, or you're making the money that you want, you're no longer going to need the retention, right? Which means you're then going to relapse and there's going to be this continual circle, right? But if you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, just channeling this energy, right? Focusing on, you know, they say seek ye first the kingdom of God, for example, right? And you're just saying, I'm going to get higher and higher and higher, right? Towards my highest self, rather than focusing on women or money, all of a sudden, right, you become limitless, because whilst you're on this journey, spirit, God, whatever name you want to give it, starts to move you, right, so that you can go to higher and higher and higher levels, so that you are able to experience everything that this universe was meant to give to you. So if you want to be limitless, remember to seek ye first the kingdom, right? And that kingdom is you refining your energy and your chi, so that you are able to focus on always being the best version of yourself. And don't focus on the results, just focus on the process of being the best version of yourself. And this will make you limitless. I hope that this video has been helpful, guys. And last but not least, always remember that you are perfect by design. Peace.